Another one, nature of functions. Okay, so generally basic functions like production, marketing and finance are more decentralized than staff functions such as personal recruitment, research and development, etc. Okay, so decentralization or delegation of authority is much more needed in basic functions, like all the other departments like production, marketing, finance, but not in uh, recruitment process, selection process, okay, research and development. These are the confined areas to top level management, okay, and so the degree depends upon the departments only, okay. And coming to another one, availability of able managers, okay. Availability of able managers also uh, decides the degree of decentralization of authority. If availability of managers uh, are possible, okay, when the managers are more capable persons, experienced persons, okay, they can handle the any decision, any important decisions can be taken. If at all the managers are potential persons, very able and skilled persons, okay, so at that time the top management can delegate the authority to those type of managers if the managers are skilled persons, potential persons. But if at all they are not that much available, availability of a skilled persons means definitely there should be centralization but not decentralization. If at all they are if at all they are skilled means definitely the delegation of authority should be given by the top management. So the degree depends upon the skills of the managers, okay. Coming to another one, complexities of the situation. So complexities in the sense the difficulties, the difficult situations, complications of the situations. So environmental factors exercise a significant influence on the degree of decentralization. We all know that the internal or external factors affect very highly on the performance of the organizations, okay. So for example, where business conditions are highly uncertain, we know that businesses are uncertain. Any change in the external environment like the legal changes or the government policies changes, or else any social situations, cultural aspects, all these affects the organizations, okay. So therefore a highly uncertainty can be seen in the businesses. So therefore high degree of freedom to operating units must be may endanger the very existence of the enterprise, okay. So another one is span of control. When span of control is narrow and management levels are many, there will be tendency towards high degree of centralization. We all studied what is the span of control. So span of control is nothing but how many subordinates are can be managed by a manager, okay. So if at all a manager controls only two subordinates means, okay, and those two subordinates, they control another two subordinates means a narrow management. So the lesser number of subordinates are seen by the are managed are supervised by the one manager only, okay. So likewise it is known as a very narrow span of control. So it means that high degree of centralization. If at all one manager is there, he is controlling 20 subordinates means, okay. So the degree of decentralization is reduced means in that case 20 members or 50 members handling by one manager means, so some control will be control on the subordinates will be not that much effective. So the subordinates has to take some decisions regarding their operational activities depending upon the situation. Why? Because one manager cannot be available to all 50 subordinates at a time, okay. So therefore here the subordinates in some situations they have to depend on their own skills. Therefore here we can say that the degree of decentralization depends upon the span of control. Okay. So next one, size of the organization. Decentralization depends on the size of the organization. Okay, so here if at all the larger is the organization means definitely we have to follow decentralization. Why? Because larger organization means more number of departments will be there, more levels of management will be there, more supervision is to be needed. Okay, so in such a case only top management cannot see all the functioning of the departments. Definitely delegation of authority should be there, then only each and every department can be managed by the departmental heads and functional heads. Okay, so in that way we can see the effectiveness in the organization and organizational performance can be seen. Okay, so by giving decentralization of authority also it leads to the responsibilities. Okay, responsibility of the or accountability of the employees towards the top level management. And the last one is control techniques. So what does control techniques means? Authority can be delegated but not responsibility. Okay, means if at all any work is delegated, okay, so that work should be performed by the subordinates at any cost, and at the end of the day they are liable to the person or the superior who delegated that work. Okay, so here we will see responsibility. They are responsible to their delegated authority and delegated work also. So managers will be willing to delegate authority only when they can exercise control. Okay, so if at all they have given control also, exercising control over the subordinates, then definitely we can see the effectiveness in the organization. So in absence of adequate control techniques, if at all there is no control on the subordinates means definitely we may not see any effectiveness in the organization. They will not listen to the managers words. Okay, therefore definitely a control mechanism should be there, a performance evaluation for the subordinates should be there. Depending upon their performance evaluation, okay, the punishment or rewards should be given. So this is a control technique that should be followed by the managers. You should be given sufficient authority. Okay, so at the same time control should be given, then only we can see the organizational performance. So depending upon controlling technique also the delegation of authority depends. So these are all the factors of decent